other than operational expenses and pose yourself an opportunity to be challenged, you guys make the decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Mr. Johnson.
Again, we have another fiscal issue that runs counter to the actions taken by the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment against the Neighborhood Council. It's really disconcerting to know, for the record, that background documentation pertaining to why this board was put on a sausage effort, and why the previous board cannot fund legitimate programs like anti-bullying programs in this community, okay, public safety programs, environmental education programs, CERP programs, okay? Now, those programs could receive money from the last board, they didn't. But now, department staff is picking and choosing with people here, and it's not for the record that the board president is also a union representative, work for the union and oversees department employees, okay? And then you start talking, maybe we have some questions, there's a conflict of interest, okay? You've seen in Oregon, you make a motion, you put a punitive action against the board, you stick to it until the resolution is complete, until it's resolved. When you start picking and choosing who's going to get funding, especially when it looks like a certain person is getting funding for a restaurant for $1,000, and by the way, that event had liquor, a beer garden. The minister, like my understand, Mr. Brill, that's been brought to the attention of the department employee that conceivably there was alcohol at that last event. For these events here, we would not be normally arguing about their worthy causes, but again, we have a department that's picking and choosing what we're going to do when it should be either or. And that's really a discredit. And by the way, listen, I understand you're leaving the department, and wish you best of luck, okay? But understand stuff like this leaves a sour taste in our mouth.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Anybody else have public comment? On this item only? Okay, I think we're ready to go ahead and take a vote then. And
Yes.
roll call vote?
Yes.
Okay. Motion was moved by Ruben, seconded by Michelle, that Alley 32 Neighborhood Council approve a transfer of funds up to $620 to Department of Rec and Parks for the Halloween Carnival scheduled for October 31st, 2014 at Osreno Park. Funds will be used to cover costs associated with the event. Are you ready?
Yes.
Sasha? Yes. Nick?
Yes.
Angela? Donna?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Marlene, abstain?
I paid first?
Ruben?
Yes.
Cynthia? Abstain. So I believe that's 7.
Capricia, yes.
Oh, sorry, Capricia.
Capricia, yes.
We need to get you a tripod. Are we-
Yes, I do need a tripod.
Storage.
Okay, 702, motion passes. And now we're going on to item 10. This is filling of vacancies. And it outlines the bylaw process that we'll be using tonight to fill some vacancies. We're filling one vacancy from each of the regions, south, north, west, and east. What I'm going to do is we're going to first go by A, and this is on your agenda. Same region. Anybody who ran in the same region and was not elected is first to be eligible for somebody on the board to nominate them, and then we'll go ahead and take a vote. If you are here and you're interested and you are trying to get on the board, I'm going to ask that you do stand up and just give us a short, under 1 minute briefing on yourself, on your background and why you want to be on the board. And if you still want to be on the board. Yes.
So first of all, I kind of want to hear, I know Lisa, you said that this is happening due to some sort of just like the funding that just happened, that this is happening due to some sort of loophole, but we're still on exhaustive effort. So I want to hear, and then before that, I also want to make my really quick. So for items 10 and 11, I just think it's a little bit of a weird situation because process of doing things, that maybe 10 should be 11, switching that around.
10 should be 11. What do you mean?
Like, so switching these, so you'd be voting on
Oh,
the
I see.
bylaws
I
for
see.
amendments before you
Well,
voting on
You
the.
can, I mean, you can, it's up to you guys how you want to, whether you want to fill the vacancies first or fill the bylaws first. You have the motion to.
Just keep it the
Well,
way it
can I
is.
ask you a question then? I mean, if we fill the vacancies, these individuals are not going to be able to vote anyways, right? Or no?
No, they can vote
Because
because
they have to
taken
take it
out.
out, like the ethics training?
Well, no, so the ethics, so,
Money
okay.
money
Yeah, so,
management.
okay, go ahead and explain that.
Okay, so those folks that are, let's say you move with the vacancies first and you fill those vacancies first, yes, they can vote on the items in the bylaws because per department policy, ethics and funding training only affect
Money
funding
management.
matters. Your bylaws do require board members to take the ethics training in order to vote, period. But you do give folks a grace period of 45 days to do so. Okay?
So, but they will still be able to vote?
Yes, but they
in
do
that
have to
45
take the ethics training and funding training within those 45 days in order to vote, period. That's per your plans, not department policy.
Okay, and then also, if you could just explain really quick for exhaustive efforts, why we're being allowed to appoint one person and why it's going in that process of we're just doing one rather than doing all of them, like what, just kind of a quick explanation.
That's a really great question. So note that these are the items on the agenda are what we received from the executive committee. Okay? The department does not create motions for them. These are, whatever your committees are sending over to the executive committee, it was sent to us. We review and approve. Because we know that the neighborhood council may or may not, I don't know, you haven't gotten to that item yet, reduce the number of board members of what you have now. That is why it was the safest bet to do a certain number of vacancies on. But again, we don't choose like, oh, this one, that one. Whatever is on this agenda, we review that comes from your executive committee. And your executive committee has open and public meetings where they can get opinions from stakeholders, board members as to what needs to be done.
I was really advocating for filling vacancies because, one, a number of reasons, but, we're running really thin and some of us are getting really, really tired. And
Burned out.
for committees to function and for people to chair committees, like the same people can't keep taking it on at night. So that's why I went, and really advocated for filling vacancies. Ultimately, they decided to allow 4.
If I can also be, there is, as of next Monday, there will be 3 MEAs for 95 neighborhood councils. With regards to this board, the department is trying to do its best to ensure that you're back to whatever it is that you need to do to be out of exhaustive efforts. Because as much time as you all in the board and stakeholders spend with the neighborhood council in exhaustive efforts, you can only imagine what staff has to spend in time to address neighborhood councils and exhaustive efforts. And so bylaws, filling of vacancies, those are sort of the last things that need to be done in order for this board to just move on right after this.
I would like it to make a motion to hear an item out of order and to move item number 11 up one spot to be heard immediately.
So we have a motion to move item 11 up to hear item 11 before item 10. Made by Felicia, seconded by Angela. Board comments on that? Anyone? Public comments on that? Jose?
Yeah, can you go to the
No,
public?
no, it's okay. All right.
Okay, do I understand, wasn't this item already introduced in first and second, correct?
She's allowing it though.
No, there's nothing to.
It wasn't.
No.
Okay. Well, again, I think the vacancy should be dealt with before the bylaw amendments, simply because people are here, it's an orderly function, and it's listed as 10 versus 11. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Jose. Anybody else?
You take a public comment to consider to move it?
Yes.
Oh.
Hear 11 first. instead of 10.
No, you're not voting to do anything. We're voting to move it on the board. Right?
Yes. Okay, we ready to take a vote on the motion to hear item 11 before item 10? All in favor, raise your hand. 3, 4, 5,
Come in.
Capricia, Sasha, and Nick. 3. Oppositions? Opposed? Anybody opposed? Are you recording this now? 4? It's 3 in favor, 4 opposed. Abstentions? 2. 3, 4, final vote is,
Yes, 3, no 4, abstentions 2.
motion doesn't pass. Okay. Yes. 3 approval.
That's your way.
Well, no, yeah, motion is, I'm sorry, no, it doesn't. Sorry, read the wrong number.
Okay, so
You're good.
we're gonna continue with item 10. Where was I?
1 minute to talk. 1 minute to talk.
First, why they want to be board member.
Okay, process order. Okay, so let's start with the East Region. He was East, right? Is Anthony Gonzalez here? No? Is there?
Quick point of order, could you just take a moment, Marlene, and just explain who left, who resigned, just real quick, and then
Well,
before each time, so we know.
Sure, so
thank
when,
you.
when we first filled seats, we already had 3 vacancies, 4 vacancies. We had 3 vacancies when we first filled. Since then, we've had a number of board members resign. Aquino resigned from the West.
Can we do it at each time? I'll do it that way, but I was thinking each time we take a thing.
Telling me, because we don't have internet here, so I'm gonna pull it up on my phone, so I'm not Facebook meeting.
However you want to do it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so, anything else?
Art, can you announce the people that were on the board before? What, since you have the,
Yeah, I have to.
okay, he has the list right here. Can he tell you the,
We have, I mean, we're down there.
But council the vacancies to fill, move with that. All those
Okay.
have to be gone.
Yeah, we have 10 vacancies to fill. Right now, we're only filling 4, we're filling 1 in each region, so I think it's kind of irrelevant who's left. I mean, there's vacancies in each of the regions.
Okay. Well,
So-
for example, you want to take these first. Don, did he resign? There's 4 vacancies, there's 4 folks in the East Region.
I think it's superfluous, whoever's left.
And
for
they're all,
whatever reason.
so why would
Gone.
okay, I'm just saying.
We missed some.
You're filling a seat in the East, and there's no seat to fill in.
So time if you,
Yeah,
I'm
Don.
not getting.
Okay, so,
No, but-
thank you. Simple. Now move
Fill
on.
vacancies.
Next one.
Okay,
Don's gone,
I'm
thanks.
with you.
yeah, I've sent
Fill the
emails
vacancies.
out to people who resigned.
I'm just saying, well, we're at a meeting here, maybe we just,
I'm sorry, I'm just waiting.
Don't get
Did you have a question?
So I think it might be easier if they can sort of just name people because they can, I don't know if there's really like any need for like to name people. I think what's more important is who's still in the position.
Oh, yeah,
So,
we're not
okay, and then
doing
like
that.
just like, okay, this is how many seats are open. So there's 3, for example, there's 3 seats open on the South region. Like I think that would just be useful for everyone here.
So let's just move on 10.
Let's just move on.
Or whatever that says, let's move on 10. Let's not run the clock. All kinds of things that have nothing to
No, I know,
do.
we're pulling something up. I was trying to bring this
Fill the
up.
vacancies. I'm with Jose there. Jose wants the vacancies filled. Let's fill them.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna start with the North region. And you said Anthony Gonzalez was not present. So next we go down to the top runners up from other regions, which is Scott Johnson and Jenny Guerrero. Jenny's not here. Mr.
She's not
Johnson.
eligible anyway.
Okay, Washington.
No, she's not.
It doesn't matter, she's not here. Mr. Johnson, you're eligible?
Yes.
Next, are you still interested in holding a seat?
Yes.
Okay. So can you guys, can you go ahead and give us 1 minute of your time? Can you please?
Somebody has to nominate.
Okay, but I mean, but first we have to hear his background, right?
Nobody has to nominate.